It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is the Killer Dwarfs from the Big Deal release, and We Stand Alone, featuring Russ Dwarf on lead vocal. And you like Russ, don't you, Chris?
I do. Russ was a lot of fun, and he put up with my bullshit, so why wouldn't I like him?
Sure, absolutely. And I wonder where Mikey... Are you there, Mikey? Mikey's not there. See?
What the fuck?
I gave him the cue, and he didn't call.
Fucking kid.
Damn it. Come on, Mikey, call. Hit call. Let's go.
Come on, douchebag.
I gave him the 1 minute countdown and nothing.
He's not paying no attention.
He acknowledged. He said 1 minute. Okay.
Got it. Guess his watch is a little slow.
Well, it's schoolwork. You know, schoolwork's got him all tied up. So anyway, Mikey is with us now. Right, Mikey?
Hello, what is happening?
There he is. Hey, what did you think I meant when I gave you a 1 minute countdown?
Well, I'm used to you calling me.
Oh, I have to do everything from this end.
No, but I don't want to just, aimlessly do something. I want to follow what you guys...
Well,
you guys have a timeline. You guys know what you're doing.
Well, why would I even bother giving you a 1 minute countdown if I didn't want you to just sit there and wait?
Well, I don't know. It's your show. I'm very hands off. You guys are gracious enough to let me be on. So
let's just put it this way, Mikey. Next time I say 1 minute, that means you call within 1 minute.
Okay, cool. That I can do.
All right. Well, Mr. Chris has given you some CDs. What did he send you?
Yes, Tuesday in the the Transfer pack. I got Russ Dwarf's new album Wireless. I got Bon Jovi's new album What About Now, and I got the re-released Iron Maiden disc Made in England '88.
Damn, Chris, you didn't even give me the Bon Jovi. Now I feel all bad and stuff. So, anyway, well, go ahead with that.
Okay, which one do you want me to start with?
Any one of them.
Okay, might as well start with the, what was going on in the studio when this record was being produced, the Russ Dwarf record.
Okay.
Because I have some questions about what knob twiddling happened in this record.
Right.
And now you got me back.
Right.
You put him on hold.
I don't know why. Why is it going on hold?
Because it's not adding.
Oh.
You gotta add. All right. You got a button on there that's looks like a plus.
Yeah, I think. Hang on. Wow, this never happened before.
It's because Skype keeps updating the shit.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
All right.
What's his name?
Oh, I got it.
Got it?
All right, we got it. We're good. All right, go ahead, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we have Russ Dwarf, new album Wireless. I couldn't find any label this was put out under, so the best I said was just Bandcamp for a label. I found out this record was re-recorded Killer Dwarf songs that were on previous records. I found no band listing. I looked high, I looked low, and could not find any sort of band list to find out who played. But just for the record, Russ Dwarf Graham was a 2-time Juno Award nominee. He sold over 2 million records, started the Killer Dwarfs in 1981, and gained success in Canada in 1983 for their self-titled record.
Did you read Wikipedia or what?
Well, I did do Wikipedia, okay, so don't stone me here. I do use Wikipedia, as you'll hear in a minute, but that gets in a later review.
Does anybody really know what a Juno Award is? Isn't that a Canadian thing?
Yeah, I didn't actually look up what that was. I'm assuming it'll be more or less like a Grammy nominee for the U.S. It kind of to make maybe a rough thing. I would assume. I really didn't look it up. I'll be totally honest.
Man, what you are slacking this week, Mikey. You didn't look.
Hey, what I did is I have written research papers and literary analyses so much. All I was worried about was the symbolism and the theme and the motif of every song on all these records. So if I go too far and too deep into that, please stop me now, because
I'm stopping you now on the description of what you did. Just fucking talk about the record.
Will do. Okay, this record, I want to say, what was he thinking in the studio? Because I had my headphones on, listened to it, and I went, this sounds horrible. The sound was absolutely horrifying. It was like something just happened in the mix that made it not really conducive to being listened to. I can tell you right now, the first song, which is, to me, when I'm looking at a CD, which is the absolute pinnacle if you're looking for a start-off track. I mean, it sets the tone for the record. Keep the Spirit Alive. The vocals were clear and understandable, but the instrumentation, the way the instrumentation was either mixed, mic'd, or both, was not good. It was recorded poorly. You know, it was one guitar was heavy in one ear, and it was like someone playing a totally different set of notes in another ear. It was just ugh. It wasn't good at all. It was too heavy in the right channel for the left. It just wasn't good.
What do you want? They're Canadian.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, I would expect some kind of production value, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know, you may not have a millionaire's budget like a Bon Jovi, say, but, you know, you can get good sound even without that.
All right.
So, yeah, a song right here, I'm Alive, track number 3. The vocals were absolutely distorted. Something was wrong with their mix. It just wasn't good. It sounded like a one take. It sounded like they just did it and just kind of threw it on the record, and whatever happened with it happened. There were some good songs, though. Track number 6, Coming Through, was actually a really good song. It evidently, whatever problems they had in their mix, again, mix or miking or whatever, was starting to be resolved, because it was more or less clear. I went, okay, it's better, you know. I'm not having to struggle through, you know, different sounds that are coming out of different places and going, where is that coming from inside of my head? It sounded good, and the vocals were clear for once. Thank you, he had clear vocals. That song was really good.
That's a pretty hard description of a CD when you have to use the term "I had to struggle through."
I did. That's what I had to do. I was sitting there because I only listened to these CDs once, you know, because you get my initial reaction, you get what comes out of me, and like I had to struggle through it because I only allow myself one listen and I don't go back. So if I don't get it, I don't get it.
So you're a one and done guy, huh?
I'm a one and done. I believe, because most people, you know, you guys will play a track from this record on the show, and that's what's going to sell someone on a record. That's what's going to sell someone on iTunes, is either a 30-second clip or what you guys play on the show. You're going to make your impulse based upon that, you know, that moment in time. You're not going to have time to listen to it over and over again. So,
well, you'll be so much further in your life of dating if you were right up front with the girls and say, listen, girls, I'm a one and done kind of guy, so you better impress the first time out.
It may not be impressing, but it's just, you know, give me something. Help with the with records. Help with your first track being a real punch in the gut, a real trendsetter, a real theme setter for the album. You know,
you don't know how many times I've uttered those words.
What?
Go ahead, Mikey.
I feel I just embarrassed myself, but anyway.
Oh, no, I did it for you.
Overall, this record would get a 57 out of 100. They had technical issues. The songs weren't bad, but it was just trying to decipher through what was happening in the mix. So, they had technical issues, but talent is clear. You know, it's clear that all the players that played on this have talent. You know, they have something to say. It has a central theme. To me, it was like the glory days of their music. They picked the best songs that sort of would fit for that time. And that would be my thoughts on that record.
Sure.
Well, most of those songs were out before you were a gleam in your daddy's eye.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. That's kind of scary to think, though.
All right, what's next, Mikey?
Okay, next record would be the Bon Jovi, What About Now? They're on Island Records, and I did some looking into it, and evidently Mr. Chris sent me the Australian deluxe version of this disc, because I have 4 extra tracks that are not on the standard release. So what I did is I did a review for the standard release you can get on iTunes or in the store or wherever. And then I averaged in the 4 tracks and gave you a composite score for the Australian release.
This sounds like math.
Yeah, I know. It's like he made
I had to do some math for this.
Did you actually break open the Microsoft Excel and make a spreadsheet on this, or what?
No, it's just notebooks. It's just an old algebra notebook I had that had some extra pages in. So yeah. But okay, this record would be band lineup would be John Bon Jovi, lead vocals and guitar, Richie Sambora, guitar and backing vocals, Hugh John McDonald, bass and backing vocals, Tico Torres, drums, and Dave Bryan, keyboards.
Right.
Richie Sambora just dropped out of the tour. I just happened to see that come across my computer screen here.
And what do you think about that? What do you think that's all about?
It might be some infighting. You know, those guys have been together for so long, and you're bound to have disagreements, but I still can't get why you just can't be out on tour. You know, really, you can't fly separately if you really hate each other that bad.
It is infighting. It's the Coke infighting with his nose.
Well, I don't know, but I did hear he went into rehab, but yeah. I still don't know. I don't know. I hope I hope the man gets his issues resolved. That's all I can say. Okay, so I caught in this record, and I'll get to it in a minute, the worst failure in science of any song I've ever heard ever in lyrics. But I'll get to that in a minute. So basically, a lot of these songs were okay. The best song pretty much on the record would be the title track, What About Now? I liked it, even though John Bon Jovi's voice sounded a little worn behind the vocals. It sounded just a little bit like he was maybe tired or something like that. I like the line, "You've got to get your hands in the dirt to find out what the harvest will bring." I like lines like that. I like that you have to kind of get in there and figure out what's going on. I like how I put that in the song. Songs like Amen on the record I really wasn't a fan of because it was ballady. I didn't like it for the ballad ends to it.
Did you think that maybe John Bon Jovi was getting his hands dirty in the poppy fields that was supplying the heroin to his daughter?
Or Richie?
I don't know, and I'd really not care to comment. Maybe he was, and if he was, that's the man's business. Hey, that's it. He's going to jail. So the other song that was really good was track number 7, What's Left of Me. I really liked it because it referenced union workers and stuff, and every time I think of union workers, I think of my dad. So it was just kind of funny. Songs that were really, really.
Wait a minute. So that was a song about working in a union and what, breaking stuff and being lazy and taking a lot of breaks?
No, my dad works very, very hard for his money.
Oh, I don't know about all that. Your dad.
I've been at his plant. He works very hard for his money.
Your dad calls me all the time. He's fucking around listening to the CMS instead of working. Fucking lazy bum.
He works midnight.
Chris is up till 4 in.
Yeah. Okay, the worst song on the record would probably, for the standard release, would probably be Thick as Thieves. Because, again, ballady, very syrupy and that kinds of stuff. And I just went, this is just not what I want to be hearing out of Bon Jovi,
Well, what do you want to hear out of Bon Jovi?
I want to hear stuff like Runaway. I want to hear stuff like Bad Medicine. I want to hear stuff where he had grit. You Give Love a Bad Name. I want to hear stuff with grit and with
Mikey,
power.
They haven't done that. They haven't sounded like that in 30 years.
I get that, but I want to hear the glory days. I want to hear when they were at their best.
That's Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days.
Thank you.
They're both from Jersey.
Yeah,
they're neighbors.
Jersey.
They live in the same neighborhood, the gated community, keeping the riffraff out.
That's right.
Yeah. And yeah, for the score for the standard release would be a 65 out of 100. The record was syrupy. A lot of it was just very, love song. The last track, The Fighter, was a downer. It was an acoustic song. I just kind of did it. I didn't like it very much. I would say replace it with What's Left of Me on the record. Swap those tracks. Again, ending and beginning records on a high note is so important because it sets your tone before and after.
Well, Chris and I have sequenced a couple of CDs in our lives. Is that true, Chris?
That's the way I always do it. I pull out the Mikey notes and make sure that I've covered all the bases when I help sequence.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it only makes logical sense to me. Because you want to start something powerfully and you want to end powerfully, so you keep those thoughts in someone's head, so you keep those songs, wanting to be heard,
Well, I've been doing the CMS wrong for the last 17 years because oftentimes I usually like to go out peaceful.
Well, going out peaceful is cool, but the thing is, it wasn't just that it went out peacefully, it went out downer peacefully, just kind of like, man, you built up. Let's even say you built up with a song like Beautiful World, track number 10 out of 12 on the record. You built up maybe even with that, and then you just kind of left it,
It's kind of like life, Mikey. You have highs and lows, and then you just lay yourself to rest, and it's over. The ride is over.
Yes.
So I think Bon Jovi's a genius for doing that because he captures the essence of life.
Okay, all right. I'll argue that as a symbolistic way. I'll argue that.
Bon Jovi, really?
Really?
Hey, you can find weirder things. There's symbolism in everything. There's symbolism, there's motif, there's theme. I have all those notes on that in here. I don't even want to get into it. So yeah, 65 out of 100 for the standard release. Now the ultimate thing for the last 4 tracks, the 4 bonus tracks for the Australian release. I'll say quickly that it was okay. I ended up giving it a 5.5 out of 100 because of the way I had to do the CD.
Your cadence sounded the same as it was through the rest of the review. That wasn't really sounding quickly to me.
Okay.
So say it quickly.
Okay. So yeah, so for the entire Australian release, it would be a flat 70 out of 100. That would be the final score for that.
So the bonus tracks raised at 5 points.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, now for the ultimate science failure I've ever heard in lyrics and music.
All right.
John Bon Jovi, in the song With These Two Hands, wrote, and I'm reading it right from the lyrics right now, hold a grain of sand till it turns into a diamond. I'm in chemistry right now in school, and I thought back to my chemistry classes, and I went, wait a minute. Sand is silicon dioxide. That is a heavier atom. That's a heavier molecular structure than carbon, because carbon is just diamond is just a series of carbon atoms that the structure's been repeated over and over again. You can't do that. Come on. The guy could have watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off and gotten that one.
Right. He shoved a lump of coal up his ass and turns into a diamond under pressure, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, come on. He could have gotten it.
You know why he
gotten
didn't,
it from there,
Mikey? He's too busy sitting at home doing nothing but counting his fucking money.
Hey, and he made it. The guy really made the money.
That's right. All right, skip this. Go to Iron Maiden now. Let's go.
Okay,
let's go to a real band.
Yeah, no
shit.
shit.
Yeah, let's go to a real band. And this, and if my voice wouldn't crack, this record was the best record I heard out of the 3.
Of course it was. It was Iron Maiden.
Well, yeah, it's Maiden, and it's in 1988. When are you going to find them any better?
Yeah, well, did you happen to check your shorts and see if you got more hair on your nuts after listening to that?
No, I did not actually.
You don't have a chick to do that for you yet, Mikey?
No, not yet.
What the hell? You're becoming the disappointment of the CMS.
No,
Jesus
because
God.
I'm taking pride in my scholastic career. I have to go off and do these great, ambitious research projects and wild and crazy things. So I don't have time to be.
Do you realize that I have girls that are your age that are sending me pictures?
I don't get into all that,
You don't wait, Mikey. Don't ever say that. Don't ever utter those words again. Don't ever. Never.
I don't get into it, and here's why.
Stop it,
Mikey. Let me rephrase for you. I'm too busy for that right now.
Don't say I don't get into that.
Never say you don't get into that unless you're sucking a dick.
Well, I don't get into doing those types of things.
Stop
okay?
it.
That's the way I'm trying to phrase it.
Stop it. You're
busy.
too busy with other things. That's it.
Okay,
My life's too busy for shallow chicks.
Yeah, my life really is too busy with shallow chicks.
All right, now leave it at that. Don't say I'm
say
not
another
into
word.
that.
And from the girls I know, thank God I don't have to deal with them. Okay, so swinging it all the way back around to Iron Maiden. This album is called Maiden England '88. It's a reissue. The original came out on VHS in '89, and then there was a CD VHS in '94. It was recorded the 27th and the 28th of November 1988 at the National Exhibition Center. And this track, I got 94% of this record. I actually did the math out on it because I did not get a copy of Wasted Years. So the track to the score includes everything but that song.
All right.
So, okay. I will say that the opening track with Moonchild, good. There were some maybe audio problems, kind of like a microphone maybe not picking up a guitar as well as it should, or something like that. Mr. Bruce sounded, or Mr. Dickinson sounded a little buried in the background of the vocals and things like that. The best song for here would be Die With Your Boots On. Just I'm on a certain page. The best song would be Die With Your Boots On. I had a very strong beat to it. The guitar tone was incredible on it. The drums were very, very strong along with bass, that being the whole rhythm section for me. It was just awesome. I sat there and went, oh, this is the best.
Right.
Killers was good. I did like, or I didn't like, Can I Play With Madness? The keyboards are noticeable in it, and I just went, not my favorite. I'm not a fan of that whole Seventh Son of a Seventh Son kind of thing anyway, so it's just like, whatever. It was Maiden, it was good for being Iron Maiden, but not that, not my cup of tea. Obviously the absolute crowd pleaser of this, and you could hear the crowd. I like the way they mixed this, because you could hear the crowd in the background.
Can I Play With Madness? No, you can't.
I was going to say that, but I knew you had the clip. The absolute crowd pleaser on this was Number the Beast. It was, you heard the crowd. We went from Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, where there was a little bit of crowd reaction, to you went to Number the Beast, and everyone in that room must have been screaming. It was really cool. And obviously, Mr. Dickinson wailed on it, and it was just great.
Snarling, fantastic. He's a man.
Thank you. Run to the Hills, another crowd pleaser. You heard the crowd going mental over songs like that. Running Free and Sanctuary were both really solid scores. I gave them both 4.8s out of 5.8s to end at the record. So the total overall review would probably close to an 80. 79, 80. What was the downer for it for me was the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son constantly in there. You know what I mean? With it being in there all the time, and just every single time you would try to get into a groove with Iron Maiden, you would gear Seventh Son of a Seventh Son again. And the songs were varied in length. At least I didn't play 4 10-minute songs. So it was tolerable. But definitely, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, I would definitely say to pick this record up.
Well, if you're a purist, you'll pick that up.
Yeah, because it's really and the thing is, for audio and stuff, it's definitely a worthy show.
Well, yeah. Are you a fan of Maiden, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm in my room right now. I'm looking up and I see my copy of Number the Beast on the wall.
Nice.
I love that album.
Well, there's still hope for you yet.
I do, and I'm just not into the very, I don't know, maybe mystical stuff with Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I see the chat room right now, and I see people saying I'm retarded and stuff. but I just don't really care. I'm not into it. It's not my cup of tea,
I'm with you on that album. I'm not a huge fan of that one either.
That is probably one of the most,
I'll take Somewhere in Time too.
Aside from the Blaze Bayley era, I think that's one of the most maligned albums in the whole Iron Maiden catalog.
Yeah, that and Fear of the Dark.
I think they were trying to go for something. They were trying to write a concept record, but it didn't really work. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
and it kind of fell flat. So those songs, and you noticed it when you heard the crowd reaction behind it. You noticed when they were going to one of those songs, they would go and they call it out. You heard the crowd reaction die off. So yeah, an 80, a solid 80 out of 100. It's a worthwhile release.
Excellent.
So Mikey, no girlfriend?
No girlfriend. I am too busy for that.
Good answer.
I am too busy for that.
Don't say I'm not into that.
I am taking pride in my scholastic career. I just got a 91 on an 11-page research paper.
So what happens when you graduate? Do you go all crazy and just bang chicks left and right?
Well, next thing is college, and then I have to worry about college because I want to get into law school.
So what you're saying is you're going to be too busy with college to worry about chicks?
Well, college is more by what I've read, seen, and I've been on college campuses and stuff and talked to college students. It's a lot more freeform. It's a lot more... Classes are varied. They're not... You don't have to show up at 7:15 and leave at, 2 o'clock. You go when your classes are. So you probably have more free time for that kinds of stuff. For girls and stuff, so...
Yeah, I would say just watch the movie American Pie. That's all the more training you really need.
Nice. All right, Mikey. Well, I'm looking forward to having you back again when you do another review for us, and have a little more personal story for us. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Takes me back a few years.
Yeah, it is fun to hear those old clips.
All right. All right, Mikey. Well, good luck with the studies, and I'll make sure Chris forwards you on some more tunage so we can get you back sooner than, every 3 months.
Well, now it's going to get better because school is really lightening up. It's going to be a lot better to get into CD reviews. So.
And you graduate a year in June, right?
A year, first Sunday in June.
All right. Well, Chris and I are going to be there.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, that's great. That's great news.
Excellent. All right. Well, since you're working so diligently through high school and into college, I thought maybe I'd end this CD review with some classic Iron Maiden with some wasted years.
I hope I'm not wasting them.
Let's hope that's the case.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Mikey. I'll let you introduce the song. Go ahead.
Okay, this is gonna be "Wasted Years" by Iron Maiden, exclusively here on your classic metal show.